What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to SoCal Exploring, your number one stop for all things theme park related. Well, it's looking like Universal Studios Orlando Resort is going to be opening a little bit sooner than we actually thought. Also, HHN 30 construction has officially started. That's right, you heard it here first. Halloween Horror Nights 30 construction has begun at the Orlando Resort, more in specific, Universal Studios Florida theme park. And we're going to be talking about that because a lot of people thought that construction for Halloween Horror Nights wasn't continuing despite what Universal CEO said. But let's talk about this. Let's get into the juicy details. Also, I'm going to be giving my reaction to a couple of the survey questions that Universal Orlando recently sent out. Speaking of the coronavirus and their regulations that may have to be done when the parks reopen and what guests may have to experience as far as the new normal goes. Make sure to donate to our Buy Me a Coffee page today. Just donate $3 and it'll help us produce higher quality theme park content if you'd like. Click the link down in the description, and we also have a merchandise store where you can snag some official SoCal Exploring merchandise. It's very reasonable price in my personal opinion. Just go to teespring.com/stores/SoCal Exploring-3 or click the link in the description of this video. And also, as always, make sure to check us out on social media at SoCal Exploring Media on Instagram, at SoCal Exploring on Twitter. Subscribe with those bell notifications on. If you're new here, check out our podcast, the Keep Exploring Podcast, on Spotify. And as always, make sure to keep up to date with our website, SoCalExploring.com, because that's where you'll find those juicy details about the theme park news coming out. First things first, let's talk about Halloween Horror Nights 30 construction. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. I'm not going to show the picture right now. I'm not going to show the picture just for the sole reason of I don't know who took it. I don't know if it's an inside source. I think that it's a public road that they took it from, but I don't want to get myself in trouble. So I'm going to tell you guys where you can find it, and that's at Horror Nights or ORL fan on Instagram. He still has a picture posted up there. You can clearly see that Halloween Horror Nights 30 construction is happening. And like I said, recently Universal CEO came out and said, hey, we're continuing on construction progress despite the pandemic on both Super Nintendo World and Epic Universe. And I posted on social media everywhere saying, look, Halloween Horror Nights is continuing, and as well as other construction projects. And everyone thought I was dumb. Everyone was like, no, he only said Super Nintendo World and Epic Universe. I doubt it's Halloween Horror Nights. Well, it looks like I was a little bit right here, because Halloween Horror Nights 30 construction has happened, and it's looking like the event is going to go on this year, especially with the regulations that were just put out by the national government. And it looks like the Florida governor is looking to open their state back up as well. So this is big news for us Horror Night fans, and big news for us theme park fans in general. But now let's dive into the survey. So I'm going to read these like by 4, and then I'm going to talk about them each individually. But it starts off the survey with, once state government permits it, Universal Orlando will reopen. How likely are you consider visiting the park if it reopens following its pre-coronavirus standard operating and safety procedures? Below you will find various measures that could help protect the health and safety of our guests and team members. We would like you to evaluate each of these measures by telling us how you would feel if it was implemented by Universal theme parks. How would you feel if Universal requires all guests to wear face masks, implements touch-free payment for food, merchandise, and parking, and limits attendance to 50% of park capacity? So let's start with the first one first. It says that the state government will, once the state government permits it, the park will reopen. So we already know that they're giving us a set time when they're actually going to reopen and when the state government permits it. Now, Universal Orlando and Universal Studios Hollywood have both extended their closure dates to at least May 31st. And like I've said in my weekly theme park wrap-up, I don't think that the big parks like Universal and Disney will open until early June. However, I think as soon as early June comes around and the state governor permits it, I'm sure Universal Orlando will open with these different protocols. That's what I think about that. We're requiring all guests to wear face masks. I'm okay with this. I'm 100% okay with this. It adds a layer of protection if you cough or you sneeze, or even if someone who has transmitted the virus and they don't even know is in the park. It protects you from you getting the virus from them coughing or sneezing. I'm okay with wearing masks at least for a couple months. Implements touch-free payment for food, merchandise, and parking. I'm okay with this too. I mean, this should be a thing that is going around personally in many theme parks, even without a pandemic crisis, in my personal opinion. It's just hygiene. It's safe. It's keeps guests healthy. I like it. I'm fine with that. Limits attendance to 50% capacity. And I know that on the survey, as we dive more into it, there's one that says limits attendance to 25% capacity, and there's limits attendance to 75% capacity. So right off the bat, I'm going to say I think that 50% capacity will be the best. That way you can practice social distancing, etc., without having large crowds in one area. How would you feel if Universal were to close indoor attractions and shows, requires team members to wipe down vehicles / seats between rides, limits attendance, we already talked about that one, eliminates self-serve food options. Team members would refill beverages. Alright, so if they close indoor attractions and shows, I don't see how Universal Studios Florida would open. I mean, that theme park's practically just filled with all indoor shows and attractions, so I don't think that'll work. Keep in mind, a lot of these questions are questions that won't actually happen. They're just trying to get your thoughts on them. If in some crazy world they were to consider pushing some of these questions of like closed indoor attractions and shows, I don't think that's the right move at all. There's a virtual line option on the end of this survey that we're going to talk a little bit about more, but closing indoor attractions, that's just not right, especially for a Universal theme park. Requires team members to wipe down vehicles and seats. I like this idea. I think it'd be quick and simple. I don't think it'd take up much time. You can just grab a sanitizing wipe down the lap bar real quick, wipe down the seat. It'd take literally a minute, not even a minute, probably like 30 seconds, seeing how there's so many team members. Keep everything clean and sanitary. I'm all for that. And then we have eliminate self-serve food options. So thank God, because I'm so tired of those stupid Coke freestyle machines. Some people like the freestyle machines, believe it or not, but I hate the freestyle machines. It mixes my drink. It makes it taste like a different drink. I know I'm looking at a different picture here, but as far as like, this is a good thing for me. If they were to eliminate self-serve food options, it really makes no difference to me either way. You just ask for the food that you want and they give it to you. And I'm just happy that we won't have to deal with the stupid Coke freestyle machines, in my personal opinion. As far as all guests to have their temperature taken, those with fevers would have their temperature checked with a handheld thermometer. Those testing consistently high would be refused admission. And how would you feel if these measures were implemented by, oh, that's the same question. So that one right there requires all guests to have their temperature taken. I mean, we saw it coming. We were speculated by Bob Iger that temperature checks would be coming to the Disney parks once they reopen. And it's looking like all other theme parks, including Universal, is going to take this idea and run with it. I'm fine with it. I know a lot of people are complaining, hey, it's going to take too long to get in, blah, 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 blah. Well, if it's going to take too long to get in and you're complaining about it, just don't go. Let the others of us enjoy it. Because there's some of us that genuinely do miss theme parks and genuinely miss being out in public instead of just staying at home all day. I get it, the virus is serious and all, but a lot of us want to return back to our normal lives and still have protection where we can actually do our normal lives just with protection, like wearing a mask or having to get our temperature checked before we walk into a theme park. Suspends X-ray conveyor belt at security. Requires all team members to wear face masks. Seats guests every other row or every other seat for rides and shows. Wow, if they suspend X-ray conveyor belts at security, thank God. I'm so tired of feeling like I'm going through TSA whenever I go to Universal. Like, it's so dumb. I don't know why. I get it. Well, I do know why. It's protection, you know. You gotta stay protected and everything. The X-ray conveyor belts, I don't really like. It doesn't make me feel comfortable at all. It makes me feel more scared of security and annoyed by security than actually scared of a shooting were to happen or someone would to bring a weapon into one of these theme parks. Requires all team members to wear face masks. That's a good idea. That should be already implemented everywhere. If you're out working right now, you should be wearing a face mask no matter what. Seats guests every other row and every other seat. Well, here's the thing, right? I don't agree with this one unless they were to do it like, because obviously you're with the party. You're usually with their party unless you go alone. I know sometimes I go alone, but usually you're with the party. You're with your family or with your friends. So are you going to be able to sit next to your family and friends, or are they going to split you up from them? If they were to go the route of you being able to sit with their party, but then you being split one seat or one row from another party, I'm all for it. However, if they're not going to let you sit from your party at all, or if they're not going to let you sit with their party at all, and they just want to split everybody up, that's so dumb, honestly. I get it, you're trying to be safe, but that is so dumb, in my personal opinion. Implement social distancing practices throughout the park. 6-foot distance when queuing for lines, table spacing at restaurants, mobile food ordering. Suspends parades and nighttime show gatherings. Requires all guests to undergo a we already talked about that one. implements a virtual line waiting system for all or most attractions. So the first one, social distancing. It's going to be difficult to see how these theme parks practice social distancing. I know a lot of these theme parks have said we're going to do social distancing, and when we open back up, we're gonna try to practice social distancing. I think it's going to be hard. I really think it's going to be hard for them. You can put down stickers and stuff in these quick service restaurants and attractions, but as far as out on the streets go, I don't know how they're going to implement it, TBH. I think it's going to be kind of one of those ones that's like a unofficial order at the theme park where people just kind of have to follow it and be respectful to Universal and actually follow it. And then there's going to be some people that don't actually follow it at all, but that's okay. The suspending parades and nighttime show, I don't want that to happen. Unfortunately, I think that's going to have to happen. I don't think there's any way that you can really prevent the COVID from spreading when you're all bunched up watching a parade or watching a nighttime show, which unfortunately means if it goes into Halloween Horror Nights 30, there will be no Lagoon show, which is really disappointing. I don't know, we'll see on that one though. And the last one is implements a virtual line, and that's what I talked about earlier. This is, once the theme parks reopen, I think this is going to be a perfect time for them to practice using a virtual line. I think that's going to be the big thing, is instead of closing indoor rides and attractions, they're going to actually implement a virtual line to get less people in there at a time, but still make an efficient amount of people go into the ride and experience the ride and make it an easier experience for guests who are visiting the park. I am 110% okay with a virtual line in my personal opinion, at least right now during this pandemic and during when the parks open back up for the first couple months or weeks. I am all for the virtual line system. I think it's a great idea, and I think that they should implement it in most of their theme parks, as well as like other theme parks like Disney and NOS and SeaWorld. Hey, but that's all the survey questions. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below, what you guys think of these protocols that Universal Orlando is looking to put in place when they open back up their theme parks. When do you guys think the theme park will reopen? I think it's going to be early June, because it's looking like the governor is already opening up everything. And President Trump did say that he's leaving it up to the state governors to open their states back up. And the state governor of Florida is looking to already open everything back up. I mean, he already opened the beaches up like a couple of days ago. So this is giving proof that it's looking like the theme park's going to open pretty soon. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below on these survey questions. Are you all for them? Do you think they're extremely stupid? Just let me know your thoughts. Subscribe if you're new here with those bell notifications on. My name is Scott. You've been watching SoCal Exploring. Positivity is key. And most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace out, everybody.